What about Dibs? I gotta call him out.
About?
He's gonna come in here. I got your back. Willard, you missed it.
He's here.
I got him. Yeah, we have talked to him. He comes in here. Milan's having her little shindig. I know you can't make it tomorrow.
Yes.
And a lot of people can't.
We got a crazy weekend ahead.
Yeah, no doubt. So Dibs, I love him. Only like he can do it. Comes in and goes, Steiny, you're free. Your family's out of town. Why are you not going tomorrow? And I go, oh, Dibs, you're going. He's like, no, I'm a maybe. So I'm like, how you going to cut down this road if you're a maybe? But Dibs is special.
I just realized that Dibs had another child to get out of responsibilities for 16 years.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the first time you've acknowledged that I had a child. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Please.
Uncle Steiner.
Has she been out of the house yet?
Oh, yeah, plenty of times.
She hasn't visited that. She
Uncle
hasn't come up
Dana's,
to no, or the club. Haven't brought her up to the club.
Yeah, she's not ready for the club. You know that. You know that.
Everybody thinks everybody else's situation is easier. That's all it is.
100.
That's all it is.
The only thing is my situation actually is easier.
Exactly.
Well, probably.
Tell us something.
That would have been my guess.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's going through their own thing.
Everybody's going through something. That's right. That's right.
Did you see my homework assignment I sent y'all?
I did. I was driving, so I didn't respond to you.
Because I love both of you.
Okay, so you're talking, and when you say hot seat, you're not talking about
not fire.
Because I actually made the point last week that we're hot seat free right now. This city is hot seat free.
Well, Steiny had Dre. I'm speaking for you. Yeah,
so you're not just talking coaches.
Yeah, no, just players. Something you want to.
Pressure.
Yeah.
Not hot seat.
Yeah, that's what I said. Who's got some pressure on him? See, I said Draymond just because I do feel like we have now reached a point where there's a percentage of people that still support the hell out of him, and there's a percentage of people that are down on him. And the people who really love him, like he's got to play well. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to play well.
Man,
he's good.
He can't have a bad year.
They're watching.
Or else he only gets $100 million.
Exactly.
And his jersey retired.
What happens if he doesn't have a good
downside.
year?
Well, the Warriors will not be very good.
Fine.
Right. That's kind of what I mean. I mean, I think, no, of course he's not going to get fired or get traded. But even we've already stipulated. What I'm saying is.
What do fans say?
I think he could, if Draymond Green doesn't play well and the Warriors aren't successful, I think Draymond's going to be the focal point of the
because
negativity.
Of the contract.
That's all I'm saying.
Man, and that's going to really get to him.
Well, it's more of not getting
to him. The dude
to
is a made man. He's got 4 rings and $100 million.
Right.
And he's going to make $400 million from TNT.
Well, all right, I'm going to go say, okay, how about this? All right, I'll say it this way. Draymond Green, it's possible that things could go sideways to the point where he could get booed at Chase Center.
No chance. No chance.
If it went bad, Dibs.
I'm gonna shake your trees.
Like Clay and Steph will never get booed.
I'm gonna shake your trees and take it in a totally different direction.
All right.
The way I feel right now, the answer is Brock Purdy because Trey Lance is not going to be on the team this year, and if he doesn't play well, the whole organization is in a big old bucket of trouble.
No doubt.
A big old bucket of trouble.
Trey Lance.
Now, actually, and I should say, and Trey goes somewhere else and plays well. Like, there's really only one scenario that is troubling for the 49ers, and that's if
a big one too, though.
You pick Brock, and then it turns out, because even if you pick Brock and he's no good, but Trey's also no good, well, then you were actually picking between two things that are no good. But you don't got
to pay for Trey.
But if
Brock continues to look like he's looked like the best deodorant.
If they pick Brock and Trey ends up being a better player,
who thinks that's going to be the case right now?
No, and it's not outside the realm of possibility.
It's totally not outside.
What have we seen? I'm rooting for the kid. There's nothing that I just asked the audience, what have we seen to where you could be like, in that game, he showed us this or that. Yeah. I'm hanging on to nothing. I'm like Van Gundy on the mornings. I mean, I want it.
We weren't at camp. We weren't at camp today. Lombardi said he's bouncing balls to running backs who are 8 yards away.
Man,
I don't know what to tell
turf
everybody.
Monsters.
I don't know what to do. He's in his third year.
But we're going to see him play in the preseason.
Yeah. Then the Niners,
which is really the regular season for him.
And the Niners are begging for him to have a really good preseason game because then they can get on the phone and get a 3 for him.
Or your phone might ring.
Oh,
I had Farhan, Dibs.
But they're dreaming about getting a 3 for him, and we can get into this when our show gets underway.
Apparently had a 5. Apparently had a 5 offered.
Right. Right, and they might be wishing that they would have taken that 5 because unless Joe Burrow pulls the other calf, I don't know what team out there is going to be that hungry, or that thirsty for a quarterback.
Some will get hurt, and I know we look at situations like that. It won't be the Bengals because Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow. They have their quarterback. They're not looking for a quarterback.
Right, and Brandon Allen could have been there too, but he chose to come here and be the 4. Why?
You're looking because he's going to be the 3, I believe.
Yeah, and maybe the 2.
You're more looking at teams that don't know who their QB is, right? Like let's say Tampa Bay goes 4-13 this year, or Tampa Bay is looking at a battle
between. It could very well happen.
Who is it? Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield.
No, I saw him yesterday.
If someone in that organization sees a preseason game and goes, "I like what I just saw from Trey Lance," that's the kind of team that to me would be interested. Right? They have their future at that position is a total unknown.
But again, as we talked yesterday, if you are a team that's going to be that bad, you would rather tank for the number 1 overall pick and get the kid out of USC than you would get Trey Lance.
Maybe, but I don't think getting Trey Lance means that you're suddenly not in that derby. You know what I mean?
Right.
Again, it's all in the eye of the beholder. It's who thinks they see something there.
And that's now I'm rooting for him, but Willard, I got to double back. You think he's going to get traded, Trey?
Look, I am of the belief that the fact that Brandon Allen is getting equal reps to Trey Lance and Sam Darnold is a thing. Why is that?
No, I don't have the answer.
Why is that?
Why is Trey the only answer to who that looks bad for?
Well, Trey is the one that would have trade value, number 1. And number 2, there's an article in the San Francisco Chronicle from 2 days ago where Kyle's talking about Sam Darnold and greatness. So I'm just adding everything up. That's what we got. Camp's open for 3 days, and Brandon Allen is getting equal reps to Trey Lance and Sam Darnold, and Kyle Shanahan talked to Mike Silver and said that he thinks Sam Darnold can be great. So add all that up, and you tell me what you see.
Shout out Union City.
You know what I mean? That's what. That's kind of my read right now. Brandon, that's valuable real estate they're giving Brandon Allen. That's valuable real estate.
But Cam, we just had him on, also stated the point that I keep going to, an SC championship game, Dibs. This team will have 8 quarterbacks if they could. That will never happen again. So maybe that's why. And they thought maybe your boy was going to be on the PUP list, but even though he got cleared, Brock Purdy, you would
now
say night-night.
Yeah,
and
now he's cleared.
So you have between now and August 29th, which is cut-down day, to go from 4 to 3, because you're not keeping more than 3. Yeah.
But nobody said a couple days ago, real quick, Dibs, I like where Trey's at. He said that.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, what's he supposed to say?
Good.
Trey's a bum. Trey's no good. P.S. We want to trade Trey. You have to build him up before you let him go. And you could look back at Steve Kerr and everything he said about James Wiseman during all that time leading up to the trade deadline. He never once said, "Oh, this guy can't defend. This guy's a lost sheep. He's a 7'1" 2 guard that we don't need." No, they built him up, and then they traded him, and you got what you can get.
There was 48 hours earlier that they said he's under contract and he'll be here for 4 more years.
that one, Mike said that.
They had already been on the phone with Washington when that happened.
I asked Steiny before you walked in here, and I mean this. Help me out if I'm forgetting, and I do forget. When was there ever a buzz outside of Bonte and Shasky in that first practice on a Saturday of what Trey Lance, how well? I'm just asking. I'm not bringing Ray.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Where? I don't think there was. When was that? I can't wait.
No, I think there was.
When did that?
This time last year, there was. There was. He hit Danny Gray down the left sideline.
We were at the Pirate game, Evan and I,
and people were hot. I remember talking to a lot of buddies that night, and people were rubbing their hands together, there was an excitement about Trey Lance. But since that point, you get Chicago, okay, there's rain, and then you get the injury, but since then,
oh my God, he's been in this coffin.
Well, but everything the 49ers have done suggests that they're not hot on him. And to me, that's where excitement about prospects comes. Are you excited to watch Luciano tonight?
Oh, Eric Davis. He reminds me of it to play.
But why? Why are you excited about Luciano? Have you seen something, or are we simply told this guy's going to be good? So our excitement comes from we're told.
Yeah, no doubt.
We don't live in Richmond.
No doubt the system.
Right?
Yeah,
we're told that this is a hot
that.
prospect.
Yeah.
Well, the 49ers stopped telling us that this was a hot prospect. They started telling us that he's not. That's why I lost my buzz.
Like, the dynamic's so fascinating. When Willard explains something to you, you're so docile.
Well, that's because I don't rip him in the process.
Exactly. I mean, wow.
I'm a big boy.
Yeah, he hates when you guys do this.
No.
You pound him like a whack-a-mole for 4 hours.
Please.
No,
The way you talk to JD versus the way you talk to Guru.
JD's right.
God.
JD's always right.
No, you're afraid of JD.
Hey,
Well,
JD.
you're right. I am afraid of JD.
Hey, JD.
The way you browbeat the Goo.
JD.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, oh, my good. Who was that guy?
You got to talk to Guru about how he responds to us.
There's something about this man that I got some Guru buttons.
I pulled up to my house today. I was listening to you guys, and I pull up to the house and I park, and I'm listening to you guys spar. And it's all like fun, and then Steiny goes, "I got a new topic," and he goes, "All right, 888-957-9570. When was the last time Goo was right about anything?"
I heard that.
And I cracked up and turned the car off and walked inside.
You know what you're like, Goo? You're like all my golfing buddies but one.
Yeah.
Dibley. That's the way we talk on the golf course.
I get it. I got buttons.
Have fun.
Yeah, you were like LL Cool J today, giving out L's. That's what you were doing.
I'm having a hell of a year.
Well,
See that you're not.
No, I am.
really not.
If he
No, I am.
believes it, then I just let it ride.
Hell
All
of a
you
year.
ever have to say is Mavericks in 6,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
you can
Yeah,
you
that
go
was-
and
that
shut-
wasn't-
Right.
That was
over
outside
a
of
year
a
ago.
year.
No,
Yeah,
I
that was
have
2
no
years
idea,
ago.
Willard. Don't ever
You
feel
can go
sorry
and
for I
shut
let this
him
dude.
down.
Don't tell Willard
it's-
No, I'm telling
not to
you,
feel sorry
docile,
for him
I'm
if he
not.
wants to.
The dude, we're
No,
having a real.
I know
Yeah.
you can handle yourself.
no doubt.
I don't worry about you.
Can somebody
I don't
do the
worry about you.
legal? It's not written down.
You're listening to 95.7 The
Look at
Game,
my boy.
KGMZ FM
HD1
in San Francisco, always live on the Odyssey
Look at my
app,
Cal State
Twitch,
Northridge.
and YouTube.
Yesterday, I had to do it. We didn't have anything, and he's like, do the legal, and somebody was talking, so I was like, I can't. I was like, you're listening. I wrote it down, and then after the show,
to KFRC.
after 2 hours after the show, I was getting my scrap paper, and it said, "You're listening to 95.7 The Game," and that's where it stopped.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
That is our station.
Willard, I hope you're wrong. I hope he's not traded before we get to see what he has.
I
with
hope
McCaffrey.
I'm
I
wrong.
see what's on the
I hope I'm
handwriting
wrong.
on the wall. But I just ask why.
Well, let me double back to the other thing that you just said. And I reject it. I don't think the 49ers are operating as if they believe that 3 quarterbacks are going to get hurt this year. I know what our PTSD is as a fan base. I totally get it. But I don't think you can run an NFL franchise that way where you're like, because then why would we stop at 4? Let's get 7. And let's give them all reps because we're planning on 3, 4, 5 guys getting hurt. Remember, when you got to QB4 last year, you had to pull someone off of the street right before the game. And Kyle's already admitted that if he had gotten to QB5, his name was going to be Phillip Rivers. So you don't plan for stuff like that. So I don't think that all 4 of them...
his days are numbered in your opinion.
It certainly looks that way to me.
Well, somebody's going to have to start week 1 preseason game. And right now, I'll bet everything I had is not much that it would be Trey Lance.
It's Sam Darnold, yeah. It's going to be Darnold.
See, I
Do
don't
you
know,
want to bet
because-
lunch on that?
Well, remember, Dibs, they're
Week
gonna,
1, Dibs.
Well,
Well,
they're
if Trey
showcasing,
Lance
though.
is still on the roster by
which
then,
I believe
which
he's
is
going to
now,
be.
it's going to be 16 days
Okay.
from now.
All right.
If he's still on the
Joe
roster,
Montana.
yes, you showpiece him and you start Trey Lance and you hope that he goes out there and throws 2 touchdowns in the first quarter,
Danny
and you can
Gray.
show the league, hey, Joe Burrow, calf strain, and turns out it's going to be
Oh, my gosh.
several weeks
Yeah.
now for Joe Burrow. It's not just going to be like 2 or 3. It might be 4 to 6, and so they might need somebody to come in and be their guy, or another quarterback might get hurt, and so you want to show Trey Lance to the world. So yes, it'll be Trey Lance in week 1 of the preseason, but I do believe that before we get to September 11th or 12th or 13th, he'll be traded before then, for sure.
Interesting.
I've always thought
no
so.
doubt.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. What else you guys want to...
Well, I was going
It's so nice when the boss isn't here.
Hey, I had Farhan on my
Seriously.
list.
It is.
And again,
the
he's
boss.
not in
See,
any trouble.
Kapler to me is would be closer to a hot seat.
But
than
why,
Farhan.
when you said he's like he just takes the orders, you don't give him I give him credit
because Farhan will have a chance to fire Kapler and maybe maintain his job.
That's his guy.
To me, it's Farhan.
9 games.
You're
over.
my guy, but
what?
But,
oh wow!
I mean,
I got something to run by.
Don't you listen 10-2? I mean, you're his guy, but all he does is crush you.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't Dibs.
Yeah,
don't crush
don't
me.
play into this.
It's radio crush.
We have a shield of armor around us. We're
if we went to the
impenetrable.
parking lot, come on, people need to relax,
dude. Trust me, Steiny in the streets is different than Steiny
He's a tough
10-2
guy on the radio, but don't take it for real.
Oh, I don't take it for real, but I've done radio.
I'm in the street, Willard and the unit, like my boy Big Dip, that damn Steiny. I'm like, everybody relax. It's radio. That's my guy.
And you know what? If they don't want to relax,
I know, but
they
come
don't
on.
want to relax. They can bring it.
Okay,
I'll say it. Just like PJ Carlissimo told Spreewell, I'm right here.
Yeah, I brought it, and then you couldn't wait to get out from underneath me after 51
You need
weeks.
an arm in the back. You better go get it.
Yeah, why don't you run this by Dibs?
What's yours?
The show.
Oh, so I'm talking to Bonte at the Hilton. We're having a nice little dinner. Steiny comes in later.
Off air talk. Yeah.
And we were talking about the station, and somehow out of Bonte's mouth, he goes, "You guys are the longest running show at the station." And I jumped up talking about Steiny and I with the Holy Ghost, like, "It's Willard, I just like the sound of that, but that was a stat I didn't know." And I ran it by him, and he goes, "Dibs is not going to like that because we had, an addition with you and Bonte. But before, it was him and I, and it's still him and I.
Yeah.
That's a win. I like that."
Yeah.
He goes, "You wouldn't like it." I go,
well, because
Dibs
technically
would like
we've only had a show for, go ahead, you know exactly how long.
How many days?
We had
13
51
months?
weeks. No, it's been closer to 2 years because Mark and I are coming up on a 2 year. We're coming up on a 2-year mark. So yeah, you guys are the longest running, and I was the third man interloper for 51 weeks. And
why does this always make me uncomfortable?
Because you couldn't handle the dibber. I was too much for you.
It should.
And I couldn't.
Was it all my fault?
I gotta go watch the guy.
I'm uncomfortable right now too. I'm very uncomfortable with this whole thing.
We, as a station, pivoted to something that was better.
Yeah.
We, as a
hearing Bonte
station.
say it, Willard, I go, "Wow, I never looked at it like that."
You guys,
He thought that would turn you off, and
No,
you
no,
just
no.
are glowing like I knew.
I walked out of our
my
show,
guy.
the three of us, with the W.
Yeah,
He
no
took the
doubt.
L. I got the W. He took the L.
You know what?
That's
Why
how
don't they
that
call
went.
us the Black Widows? Because we got rid of Bonte and we got rid of Dibley.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
got rid of me
for the
after you
greater good of
drive.
the station. For the greater good of the
Well,
station. Yeah, they both went to successful
Yeah,
shows.
exactly.
tongue
Into
in
drive
You
time.
guys are the Steph Curry of 95-7 the game. He is now the longest tenured player with any team in the NBA.
We're not declining.
Udonis Haslam.
I'll just get ran
Udonis
Monday after
Haslam,
today's
who's
show.
kind of like Dibs.
Oh,
He's just been there for like 100 years.
First of all, he's older than me, so point
look
your
at
Haslam
him.
hatred. You know what? Their show is, and Guru is the Steph Curry of the station. He never
stop,
wants to admit it.
Chef, let's go to
Steiny is the
ATM.
Iguodala.
Yeah, okay.
Steiny's the vet man.
Right.
That's how that goes.
I'm trying to get my baseball talks in. Nobody's crickets. Farhan, you got to get a pitcher and a bat. And Luciano reminds me of a
Dude,
young
and the
Eric Davis
Dodgers
at
are
the plate.
dunking all over him right now.
They've gotten 4 negative WAR players. I'm terrified. What are the Dodgers? Who cares?
But what will their WAR be when they put on the white and
Maybe
the
better.
right?
It's about being
Maybe
proactive.
Yeah,
It's about caring.
Willard, you got to do something.
The Giants right now feel like an unserious organization.
Here's
because
where
I can't wait. We
I'll
got
agree
till
with
Tuesday.
you from this perspective. Yeah, exactly.
Voices carry.
Yeah.
No, I'll agree with you from this perspective. If you look at what bothers people about the Giants, it's not the day-to-day game ops.
No.
It's the overarching business ops. Well, that's Farhan. I don't know who's mad at Gabe.
Oh, I'm not. That was Steiny. He's saying if they didn't make, let's say they don't make they missed the playoffs this year.
Okay,
would you then change? But right now, Gabe's winning to me, man.
Right now, yeah. I mean, they got a tough schedule in August, so we'll see.
Horrendous.
We'll see how that goes. But point being is, if everybody who's mad at the Giants starts out in April and goes, well, this roster stinks, and then they go over 500.
No, I got
then
you.
how can you not compliment Gabe Kapler?
Yeah, which I'm doing.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I'm with you.
What are you going to do now?
I'm with you.
You're in it.
What more people are mad at is the Farhan role than the Gabe role.
Oh, no, okay.
I think. But Farhan's operations on the deadline are almost always on the deadline.
So you guys expect a deal or deals?
Oh, multiple deals.
Okay.
I've never heard of him I didn't know we had him.
I've never heard of
They've already made one of those trades.
By the way,
That's who
has been dealt so far than anybody?
Giolito.
And people have heard of him starting
Lance
2 weeks
Lynn.
ago.
Lance
Joe
Lynn with
Kelly.
But see,
Lance
again,
Lynn, who is 36 and his ERA is over 6.
I like him.
Oh,
But
God,
what
he looks
you really,
great.
you're not getting Sandy Koufax at this juncture. So the whole play to me is
You might get
what do we,
Verlander.
let's roll the dice and try something new, like
Well,
the Dodgers are
I'll put
trying
it-
and the Angels.
I'll put it this way. Okay, let's talk about the Angels for
Only
a second.
4 out of the wild. I thought they were like 100.
You got 2 rentals, one of whom's ERA is 4, and he's 6 and 6.
Okay.
And you got a middle reliever. 2 rentals, and you gave up prospects 2 and 3.
Neither of whom is very good.
And that's what I was about to go to.
that's-
Number
I'm just
68
looking at minor
prospects.
league stats.
They're
Yes,
prospects.
Sure they are.
They're prospects.
Sure. So is
The point
Angel
is-
Violona.
The point is if the
That's an
the
incarceration
price-
sensation,
If the
right?
That's a
price
buck.
to get a middling rental starting pitcher is prospect 2 or 3 or whatever,
So let's say Stroman.
I'm out.
Which
Get
is-
out of
No.
here. Strowman is way better.
Cubs.
They're in, they
Yeah,
they
the
might-
500.
The
They're in
Cubs,
it,
the
dog.
Cubs might not be doing
They're in
it.
it.
Somebody get him
Yeah.
updated standings.
Come on.
Everyone-
Have you
in
noticed
it.
the Mets? No, the Mets are selling.
No, yeah.
You would never say that to JD.
Like,
Yeah,
just so-
no, but that's why.
I took Norm
I
to his
just-
doctor's appointment. He's like,
I'm
damn,
driving on
Steiny
the
in a
Bay
good
Bridge.
mood.
I can't do it.
But I
can't
know what I
take
do
it.
to him, and y'all don't give me credit.
No, you get all the credit.
Yeah, I
but
get
tolerate
on his
me.
it's an
nerve.
agitation
You do.
sensation.
Willard, he
is
don't
what
like
it
to
is.
see me happy. Say that at my funeral.
not true.
I said that to you. When I'm happy,
I'd
it
like to
bothers
stop
him.
talking about your funeral.
I
There's a
agree.
little
Yeah, you
bit
know
too
what?
much
Let's move on.
goose funeral
Can you come
today.
Yeah.
for my
watch
taste.
Willard agree with me? These youngsters come in and they're gaga goo goo over Ohtani yesterday. He pitched a one hitter,
It was
Yeah, he was
incredible.
amazing.
and then he hit a home run in the second game.
2 home runs.
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
One was Oppo Taco.
Right.
The other
Hit
one
to
was
it.
a seed over right. So
Rick
what's the point?
Wise threw a no hitter and hit 2 home runs in the same game
Great.
in 71.
Okay.
All right.
So
What's
that's all.
But
you
he
said
did
I'd
that
agree
one
with
time.
you. I didn't hear an opinion.
Well, when Spadoni comes in a greatest performance of all time in a game, no. Come on, man.
Right, but the backdrop is what he's done also for his
and
whole
that-
career.
Oh, no,
That's
no,
called
no.
nuance.
That's not my backdrop.
Well, then I don't know
It
what
was
the
a
statement
single
was.
game.
What was the statement?
The statement was that nobody's ever had a performance like Ohtani yesterday.
And he brought in your guy that I'd never heard of.
We got
I
2
actually,
minutes.
I
Just
actually
say,
think I could argue that doing it in 2 separate games is
Oh, my
more
God.
impressive.
Why? Just because I said it wasn't?
No, because it's spread
Please.
out over 2 full.
Did I tell you that the game ended 2-0? 2-0. Rick Wise, 2 solos. And no.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2-11.
Never take it. Oh, my gosh.
What did he do it off of?
Exactly. Denny McClain, 31 wins that year. I'm making that up.
The cheater.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is
Talk
it
about an
possible?
incarceration
Dude,
sensation.
look at
You
your
might
boy,
be,
Dark,
and
the
I know,
Black Sox,
I know a few
dude.
guys like this in the business. You might be one of those guys that thinks anything that happened 40 years ago is cooler than anything that happened
52
Oh, my
years
And
God.
I
ago.
hope you're not one of the guys
my
that
God.
think
I'm
that
not
if it
just
happened
asking.
40 years ago, it doesn't exist.
now. No, it exists.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
It existed on a different planet,
Oh.
on a different plane.
Okay, he's aging now. He's doing age.
Look at you guys.
It did.
He's coming up on 50, and he'll change his tune.
All right, I mean, like,
Look.
you're a golfer. You're going to tell me that golf back in the days of Jack Nicklaus was the same as Tiger Woods?
Probably would. Besides
think
the
so?
equipment.
How about the field?
It's an equipment issue.
How about like golfer number 50 now is so much better than golfer number 50 then?
Justin Thomas
Type-
couldn't hold Jack's jock.
It's a hypothetical.
Hitting with persimmons.
You guys are the best.
Anybody can play in
See you
these
all tomorrow,
conditions
bud.
with these golf
nobody's
balls.
coming.
No.
Yeah.
Can't
No,
get a sack.
I'm the most likely. I'm a maybe.
I like that. Now
Yeah,
you got me
it's-
hoping.
No. It's-
No, but a
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
a maybe's almost triggering. You didn't tell me
And I'm
that you're
gonna
going to
stop
try
doing
to
it.
stop
There's
by,
nothing
did
more
you?
uncomfortable when you're at work. And
you're an outright no.
Yes.
And Steiny wouldn't even entertain it, even though he's got a free slate.
that is
got
no
eight
scary.
reason.
You
dogs.
are. You got
That
what?
dog is still in it. I got to go right home today because of the dog.
Dude, bring the
I
dog.
got you. Shout out
Slap
Lassie.
the dog in the
Hey,
backyard.
Willard,
Shout out Rosie.
Lassie. Yeah.
Guru doesn't like dogs.
Yeah. Dude, I grew up with an Irish
mean-
setter.
Remember Rosie
I will defend you.
barking
I
at
will
you.
defend you to this
Oh,
level.
yeah, I said your
your
dog's
dog
racist.
is untrained and cannot be left alone.
And racist.
Your dog is a menace.
Barking
and
at
I
me.
love that
It
dog.
was barking at me and nobody
Dude,
else
and
did.
Dana, don't even
I
sleep.
seen all that. Steiny,
Dude.
what's going on? He was laughing.
Even Sal Castaneda gets some woof woofs, as I recall.
Willard, I'm like, what's going on, dude?
Dude, she runs up to the
Trained in
dinner
what?
like
Yeah,
I'm a
just
long lost
hopping
friend.
your lap.
Dude, this dog.
Dogs can be trained in different ways.
Oh, boy.
All right, gents.
All right,
love
hey.
Bye, Steiny.
Yeah, I'm going to bust one today.
I may too.